Okay, class. We are in sixth grade world history, uh, covering uh, the ancient Greeks. Uh, this is going to be the second day of class. Our previous day we spent through reading, getting background material, and just kind of getting some information about what we're going to be covering the next couple of days. So the first part I'm going about, uh, I had for my anticipatory set, I had the groups break into small groups at their table and discuss what in what ways the geography of the ancient Greeks play a role in how the culture stabilized. So, and from there, I'm going to be starting up my PowerPoint lecture, but because I don't have a working computer, I'm going improv. So, that's the setup. So, as we look into ancient Greece civilization, it helps to take a look at all aspects of their culture. We'll start by looking at the geography and how it impacted the Greeks as they developed their civilization. This overview demonstrates the various aspects of which geography impacted how the civilizations evolved. We'll be going into further depth as we progress throughout the lesson. Okay. For our objectives, these, I believe, are vital to understanding the geography of the region. It is, as I have stated before, imperative that you compare each civilization to each other, as we have covered thus far. To make sure to notice the changes that were made when dealing with where they chose to live, as well as how they resolved to grow within their region of the world. I would like you all to try to think why we chose this particular method, or why they chose this particular method, given the geography, when we discuss this later in the lesson. Okay, so looking at the map, it's kind of small, but Greece is located in the Mediterranean Sea. However, many of their ports are actually located within the Aegean Sea to the east. The climate here is pretty unique due to the combinations of the mountains in the north as well as warm air coming from the south. Okay. Within the Mediterranean Sea, people tend to receive really hot summers but a mild winter. This is due in the way that the mountains tend to lay primarily in an east-west direction, which traps the warm air coming from the south. It should also be noted that due to the temperatures being as high as they are, the summers usually end up being pretty dry, and alternately with the mild winters, they do receive adequate rainfall to be able to sustain most of their crops. This makes winter their primary time to grow crops within the region. Okay. As you have noticed from the previous map, a large portion of Greece is covered in mountains. In fact, about 80% of it is considered mountainous and pretty difficult to traverse normally. Because of this, the majority of the cities grew up in the coastal plains of the region. These people became adequate soldiers and conducted a majority of their trade by ship, which was the easiest mode to transfer goods and materials in the region. It should be noted that Greece also has a number of islands that also add significantly to the usable land that they have access to. So, due in part to the climate, being warm to hot at most times of the year, the Greeks managed to develop a broad range of crops. The main ones to note are the grains, the olives, and the grapes. The climate was ideal to grow these, so they devoted large-scale plantations to grow a large number of these crops. Okay. As I stated previously, within the plain regions, or travel outside the plain regions of the Greek coast is very difficult, as there were very few passes in the north to which people could travel. So the land trade was usually limited to within the plains region. A majority of the trade was done by ship, and this trade was shared by many who would eventually settle in the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, on this map, we show a visual on how the Greeks and their neighbors, the Phoenicia, set out to trade with their settlements scattered throughout the Mediterranean. Notice how a majority of the routes rarely left the visual of the coast. Do you have any questions about ancient Greek philosophy? We will be discussing greater detail following this, so be prepared to add significantly to the topic. Thank you.